Something unusual about the market today. Price slightly declined. People panicked. Donald Trump might be at the center of it. However, analysts say otherwise. Shiba Inu might be on the verge of something big, and this might make people millionaires. The crazy part? The date has been leaked. What is happening? How will all of these make sense? What on earth am I even talking about? Well, let me explain. Disclaimer. Today is a bit of a weird day for Shiba Inu. The price took a slight dip, which is surprising, especially after yesterday's rally, thanks to the burn mechanism update. It's like the market got a quick burst of excitement only to hit the brakes again. Now people are getting anxious. Some are even frustrated. Why is this happening? Shouldn't the price be going up? Is there something we're missing? For a moment, this caught everyone off guard, stirring up all sorts of speculation. Some think it's just a temporary pullback, while others worry there might be a deeper reason behind it. It's one of those moments where the market feels unpredictable and emotions start running high. However, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture, because there's actually more to this than just Shiba Inu. It turns out Bitcoin is doing the same thing. After climbing up to 105,000, it suddenly pulled back to 102,000. That's a pretty noticeable drop, and since Bitcoin usually sets the tone for the entire crypto market, it makes sense that Shiba Inu and other altcoins are reacting the same way. This isn't just a Shiba Inu problem, it's part of a larger trend. And the reason? Well, it looks like Donald Trump and his latest tariff announcement have a lot to do with it. Just as the markets were settling in, the White House confirmed that new tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China would take effect today. That news hit like a shockwave. U.S. equity indices, which were actually in the green earlier, flipped into the red during Friday afternoon trading in New York. The Trump administration is slapping a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and Mexico, along with a 10% duty on Chinese imports. According to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, this is a direct response to these countries allegedly allowing illegal things to flow into the U.S. And just like that, panic spread across the markets. Stocks dropped. Crypto followed. Bitcoin took a 3% hit, tumbling from 105,000 to 102,000. When Bitcoin stumbles, the entire crypto space feels it. Investors rushed to secure profits, and selling pressure took over. Shiba Inu? Just caught in the storm like everything else. And it doesn't stop there. It looks like the whole idea of the Fed holding Bitcoin reserves is getting tested. And now, there's a real possibility it could be delayed. Austin Goolsbee, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, made it clear that the Fed is legally limited in what it can actually put on its balance sheet. That's a big deal because earlier, Chair Jerome Powell had already said that the Federal Reserve Act prohibits them from holding Bitcoin. And they're not exactly in a rush to change that law. Powell's stance on Bitcoin has been all over the place. Back in 2021, he dismissed it as too volatile to be a real store of value. But just last month, he called it a digital version of gold, which is exactly what Bitcoin supporters have been saying for years. Still, despite the shifting opinions, the chances of an official Bitcoin reserve happening by the end of April have now dropped to just 16%. It's still expected to happen at some point this year, but the timeline is looking shaky. Meanwhile, some states like Texas, Florida, and Ohio are pushing to create their own local Bitcoin reserves, but it's too early to tell how successful they'll be. Cynthia Lummis, the senator from Wyoming who originally proposed that the U.S. Treasury should buy Bitcoin, isn't giving up either. She's making it her priority as the head of a new Senate subcommittee on digital assets. So, what does all this mean for Shiba Inu? If Bitcoin struggles to gain institutional support, it makes things tougher for altcoins like Shiba Inu. Big investors hesitate, regular traders panic, and prices get shaky. Right now, everything is in limbo, and until there's more clarity, the market is going to keep riding this wave of speculation and doubt. But hold on, there's actually a light at the end of the tunnel. Just when things looked uncertain, some analysts dropped a bombshell of hope. According to them, whatever's happening right now doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because Bitcoin is actually on track to hit $1 million in the near future. Yeah, you heard that right. A newly published paper by Dr. Murray Rudd and Dennis Porter from the Satoshi Action Fund lays it all out. Their research suggests that Bitcoin could surpass 1 million by January 2027. And if things really take off, it could climb even higher by 2030. The way they explain it is pretty fascinating. Their study looks at Bitcoin's fixed supply and its growing demand, using something called a constant elasticity of substitution, CES, demand function, which is just a fancy way of saying they calculated how demand might change based on price movements and external factors. By applying this model to Bitcoin's supply curve, they came up with different scenarios. In the more conservative outlook, where demand stays at December 2024 levels, Bitcoin is still expected to cross $1 million by autumn 2028. But in the bullish scenario, things move even faster. With corporate adoption skyrocketing and U.S. states potentially establishing Bitcoin reserves, the target moves up to January 2027. And this isn't just speculation. The Satoshi Action Fund has been actively pushing for Bitcoin reserves in multiple U.S. states, and it's working. At least 11 states are already considering it, with even more expected to follow. If governments and institutions really start stacking Bitcoin, demand will explode, and the price will follow. Now, here's the fun part. If Bitcoin really hits those numbers, just imagine what that could mean for Shiba Inu. If Bitcoin reaches $1 million, the entire crypto market is going to levels we've never seen before. Shiba Inu could be in for the biggest surprise of all. And when that happens, well, let's just say a lot of people might regret selling too soon. Speaking of surprises, there's been an interesting breakdown floating around the internet. One that's got a lot of Shiba Inu holders shocked. The question? How much does Shiba Inu need to rise for a simple $1,000 investment to turn into a cool million? According to analysts, Shiba Inu is still one of the top contenders for massive price growth this cycle. It has already made millionaires in the past, and some believe it could do it again. But right now, let's be real. The price action has been underwhelming. It recently hit a low point, but since then, it's climbed back up by about 10%. Still, it hasn't fully broken into the next price range, and investors are waiting for that next big move. So, let's break this down. If you put $1,000 into Shiba Inu at its current price, you'd be holding over 52 million tokens. For that to turn into 100K, Shiba Inu would need to remove 2 zeros from its price. To hit $500,000, it needs to climb 50,000% from now. And for that legendary $1 million mark, Shiba Inu would need to go absolutely parabolic, skyrocketing nearly 100,000% from where it is now. The big question is, can it actually happen? Well, here's the thing. Shiba Inu has already pulled off insane rallies in the past. Back in 2020 and 2021, it went from practically nothing to one of the biggest names in crypto. But the game has changed. Shiba Inu is now an $11 billion project, meaning it takes a lot more money to move the needle. If it ever reaches those insane price targets, its market cap would have to rival some of the biggest companies in the world. That said, some still believe it's possible. Even Shiba Inu's lead developer, Satoshi Kusama, has hinted at the potential for a $1 trillion future. Other analysts think it could take a while, possibly until 2040. But if Shiba Inu ever gets there, it would be one of the biggest success stories in crypto history. For now, all eyes are on the market. If Bitcoin leads the way and Shiba Inu keeps evolving with its ecosystem, who knows? The next bull run might just surprise everyone. Speaking of perfect timing, there's another juicy bit of news that's just come out. The Donald Trump administration recently bought again a massive $9 million worth of Ethereum. Now, why is this huge for Shiba Inu? Well, if you've been following along, you know that Shiba Inu is built on the Ethereum blockchain. So, whenever there's a surge in Ethereum's value or adoption, it's pretty much guaranteed that Shiba Inu is going to ride that wave too. With this massive buy-up of Ethereum, it looks like something big might be coming for Ethereum in the near future. The Trump administration's move signals confidence, and when Ethereum's price and utility start growing, Shiba Inu could also see some major gains. After all, when Ethereum shines, the whole ecosystem benefits, including all the projects built on top of it, like Shiba Inu. So, when you really look at the bigger picture, it starts to make sense why the price might be struggling right now. But still, things are still looking bright for Shiba Inu. The project has insane utility, a team of hardworking developers, and a solid community that's always pushing for more. With everything that's been happening in this space, there are definitely new opportunities on the horizon, and Shiba Inu is poised to rise again. Just like Lucy, a prominent member of the Shiba Inu community, said in a recent tweet, "There are always opportunities in crypto, but you've got to know where to focus." She shared how the most money she ever made was by holding Shiba Inu, no questions asked, but it wasn't always smooth sailing. In 2022, she tried jumping into other projects, only to lose a ton of money and get rugged. It was a tough lesson, but one that taught her about spotting real opportunities. Lucy learned that sometimes not every project will make you money, but each experience teaches you something. After going through the ups and downs, she realized that Shiba Inu was her solid bet. And when she says she trusts Shiba Inu and the team behind it, that's a sentiment shared by so many in the community. That's where we are right now. While the price is taking a breather, the Shiba Inu ecosystem is still strong, and there's no denying that new opportunities will come. With a dev team that's constantly working behind the scenes and a community that's in it for the long haul, Shiba Inu will reach new heights when the time is right. But what is your opinion on this? Comment down below. If you are curious to find more, then make sure to click on one of the videos you see on the screen. And with that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, then turn on the notifications bell on this channel. Missing an important Shiba Inu update might make you lose money, so don't risk it. Also, please share this video with as many people as possible. Let's get this news out there.